I feel like the answer is going to be on the back of these, but it's not. You have to actually answer them. Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Nikki.
I'm Adam.
And today's video is going to be a Q&A, and it's actually going to be split up into, I don't know, 2 or 3 videos. I don't know yet how long this is going to be, but we asked for some questions on both Instagram and YouTube and found that we had a majority of them that were like weight loss related, and then a good amount that were more like personal. So I think we're gonna split the videos up and do like a weight loss Q&A and then just a more personal one. So I have them written on some note cards, and we're just gonna go ahead and get started with the weight loss questions today. So not in any particular order or anything like that, but if you enjoy this video, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. And if you're new here, just to give some background, this is my husband, Adam. We've been on a weight loss journey for over 16 months now. I'm down 72 pounds still.
I'm also down 72 pounds.
Okay, we're both down exactly 72 pounds. I've been at a plateau for a few months because I've started to incorporate weightlifting, and I'm not really in a rush to lose the last 10 pounds to hit my goal. And he actually has hit his goal weight. So yeah, just a little background about us, but let's go ahead and get started with some of these questions. So first question is, what is your current weight? My starting weight was 252 pounds. I'm currently 180 pounds and I'm 6 feet tall.
So I started at 340 pounds and I'm down to 268 and I'm 6'3".
Sweet. Okay. How do you remain consistent? So this is something I've talked about a lot on my channel. And actually you did it too. Okay, so what we did is we rewarded ourselves for staying consistent instead of rewarding ourselves for hitting certain goal weights. So in the beginning we picked like staying consistent tracking for a month. We're gonna choose, I gave myself a foot massager. What did you give yourself?
I got a new headset for my PS4.
Yeah. So that was something that really helped us stay consistent.
Yeah, so I work 12-hour shifts, so I pack pretty much 2 out of my 3-ish meals for the day in the morning. So that helps me to track everything at one time at like 5 in the morning for the day, so I know how many points I have left when I get home. So that definitely
you
helps.
Pretty much just have to worry about dinner then.
Yeah.
So that helps him stay consistent, definitely, and eating different foods and stuff like that. So that's always good. Okay, the next question is, how do you get rid of the urge to binge? Honestly, and this is something I've talked about many times on my channel that I struggle with or have struggled with in the past. It is something I still deal with. I still get the urge to binge. However, I've found different ways to just kind of either avoid the kitchen. If I'm really feeling like just pointlessly snacking, I find an activity to do. I go journal, I go walk the dogs. I just try to get away from the food that I'm tempted by. Another thing is also just allowing myself to eat throughout the day so that I'm full, because I find if I am waiting till the end of the day to eat my first meal, I just go crazy, and that I'm much more likely to binge when that happens. So really it's just making sure I stay full through the day, drinking my water, eating my meals throughout the day, and then finding ways to get kind of away from the kitchen where I'm tempted the most. Have you ever tried other color plans? Nope.
Nope, we love blue.
Will you still do Weight Watchers when you hit your goals? So, Adam?
Yeah. It helps me just stay consistent every day to maintain my weight right now, and I still want to lose a little bit more, so I still use it every day.
Yeah. And I haven't hit my goal yet, but I'm not really rushing to, so I still use WW.
And you still will have to, right?
And I still will definitely after I hit, even if I like don't, I just like knowing the point system in my head, I feel like I could actually just continue doing WW without even tracking all the time because of how we know the points so much just from cooking so much, but I definitely, yeah. Okay, what is your monthly grocery budget? So we don't really budget our groceries, which would probably be smart. Yeah, it is hard because we do a lot of the shopping at the same time. Like at Sam's Club, I buy my cookie business ingredients and we just do it on the same, and then I divide it for taxes later, but honestly, we spent so much money on fast food previously. We're really able to justify even spending a little bit more than we normally would on groceries. We both eat a lot of food. Yeah. We both like to eat big meals. So even if the meals are like huge because it's a lot of 0-point foods and stuff like that, we eat a lot of food. So we do go through our groceries a lot, but yeah, we don't actually have like a set budget. Okay. Has your digestion changed since starting WW? Yeah, so honestly, drinking my greens has helped a lot with my digestion, but overall just not eating so much grease. I think greasy food was like caused me so many issues with my digestion. And so a lot of the food we eat now is not greasy. It's not takeout like we were eating before, fast food and stuff. So, I mean, overall, it's just like improved my digestion tremendously. And so I just feel a lot better. We haven't eaten as much dairy as we used to. So it's affected Adam more now because we kind of we started weighing out our cheese compared to what we were eating before. Like we were eating huge portions of dairy.
Such a crazy amount of cheese before.
Yeah.
And I think since we started actually weighing it out and having proper portions, my body didn't know what to do.
Yeah. So now he's struggling more to digest lactose, right?
So I take lactate if I'm going to have some. It's not terrible, but it's definitely a change.
Yeah. But honestly, I think before too, we were so used to just feeling so horrible all the time that it didn't even matter. Like now we feel it so much more when we don't feel good from eating something or something like that. So I think we're just so much more aware of it in a way because, yeah. Has the scale ever gone up during your journey and how did you handle that? So yeah, we both had that happen.
Yeah. It's not the worst thing in the world. Because I mean, I had weekends where I left and I went and hung out with my friends and stuff and I would eat a little bit worse than normal. And I had weekends that would go up, but
and a lot of times you're expecting it then, so you kind of just like brace yourself for it. But there are also weeks where you think you track everything, you drink your water, you do everything right, and then you still see the scale go up. And a lot of times that'd be like during my time of the month especially, but other times we're just random. And I don't know, it helped to have each other supporting each other. But honestly, sometimes that made it harder because like we'd both have our weigh-ins the same time, and then he would lose 2 pounds and I would gain 2 pounds, and it was like,
or vice versa.
We ate the same things for the week. I'm just saying. So like, it would get really frustrating, and it is a mental thing, but you just have to remember that this is a process, this is a lifestyle change, and so, I don't know, a lot of times it just kind of motivated me more for the next week to really stay even more on track, and yeah, because I really wanted to see those results, and I knew that it was possible, and I knew that I was doing all the right steps, and that maybe this week I just happened to retain more water or something like that. I don't know. Pretty early on, I think we learned to not really depend too much on the scale. We started taking more progress pictures and stuff like that and just focusing more on how we felt because it was pretty mental for us to use the scale.
I was going to say that.
Yeah. Did you use your weeklies when you were losing weight? Yes. Both of us always eat our weeklies.
Yep. It took me a couple of weeks to figure that out, though.
Yeah, both of us were kind of scared to use our weeklies in the beginning because we thought we would gain if we did. We thought we were just supposed to stay within our dailies. But yeah, when we eat our weeklies, we find we're much more satisfied, and then we're able to even do some like cheat meals or treats or stuff like that. Yeah, but honestly, there were some times where there were some weeks where I didn't use all my weeklies, and I would have less of a loss than the weeks that I would eat all my weeklies. It seemed like every time I would eat my weeklies, I would have a better loss.
Yeah, that was so weird.
Okay, how long and often do you exercise? So you can go first.
So I go to the gym probably 3, maybe 4 times a week for about an hour and a half every time. I've actually cut out cardio most of the time now. I pretty much just do weightlifting.
He's fine with doing like ellipticals and stuff like that.
I normally like it, but...
You like it?
Eh.
No, but you can do it and
yeah.
fine with it.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so I rollerblade, and I like to try to do that at least like 3 to 5 times a week. It just depends. But I do that for like 30 to 45 minutes. Usually I try to just do my 8-mile route that I have. So sometimes it's fast, sometimes it's slower. But I do that, and then I also lift weights at the gym. And usually, again, I try to do that 3 to 5 times a week. My leg days are usually like an hour to an hour and a half, and then my upper body days are usually only like 45 minutes.
You're so weird.
Yeah. Okay. Do you weigh or measure out everything you eat? And yes, not everything.
Not everything.
Okay, no. So no, no, we don't weigh out everything we eat, but like certain foods that we find we need to portion out, so like cheese or rice or nuts or just different snacks. We do count out our snacks and stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff that we do measure. The kind of stuff I don't measure, I never measure any 0-point foods really, unless it's for like a recipe and I need to write it down or something. But usually when I'm making my bowls, every 0-point ingredient is just pretty much I'm eyeballing it, how much I really want. I try to go off like the basic, what a serving size would be, and usually have like 1 to 2 serving size of the vegetable that I'm eating or the fruit. Same thing with like turkey or chicken. But cheese, I always weigh on the scale. I have my food scale that I like to use for stuff like that. Even like different sauces or spreads sometimes. Those are things we like to measure.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely sauces.
Yeah. Did you ever feel discouraged seeing others lose weight faster than you? So for me personally, yes, and it was him. A lot of times he would have a bigger loss than me, and a lot of times I would get more frustrated because he was still getting to eat 20 more points than me a day, but then he was having bigger losses than me, and it was like, what the heck? But of course I knew he had more weight. First of all, he weighed more than me, he's taller than me. Like, there were so many different variables that went into it, but it was still kind of discouraging sometimes when it was like, especially because people noticed his loss so much sooner than mine. It took a lot longer for people at work and people around me to notice that I was losing weight, whereas it was like pretty quick for you.
Like a month in.
Yeah. It was like 3 months for me, I feel like.
Yeah.
It was, yeah. But other than that, I mean, no, you just have to remember that everyone's on their own journey. And I mean, it still can be hard when you see even on like social media and stuff like that. But honestly, a lot of times that motivated me more. It didn't discourage me. A lot of times transformation pictures were like what really helped push me through my journey. That's what helped get me started. And I'm not even talking about my own. Seeing other people's transformation pictures really motivated me throughout my whole journey. And so seeing other people's progress, actually I used as a motivator. Did your weight loss slow down during your journeys? And they said, I'm 1.5 months in and 21 pounds down. So congrats, that is awesome. Yes, definitely.
Yes.
So I think both of us were pretty much the same, where we lost majority, like the first month we were having really great losses, and it stayed that way, but then it became a lot more inconsistent. But now it's gotten to the point where I don't even really do my weigh-ins because of how I've pretty much stayed the exact same weight. But yeah, it's definitely slowed down. I would say it really started to slow down about like 8 months into the journey was when I did the majority of like losing weight 8 months. Yeah, I think you're about the same. Yeah. So then for a while it got down to like 0.2 pounds a week we were losing. Like there were some small losses.
And some just like 0 weeks, like you're having.
Yeah. Okay, what made you start this journey? I mean, are you at it?
That was all you.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, the thing that really like pushed me was I started getting really scared for my health, and I don't even know. We found WW online and we just decided to go for it. I was able to convince him, and we did it. I honestly didn't expect it to go as well as it did the first week. I didn't expect to like the point system like we did, and just seeing that it was possible kept us going. But yeah, I think the biggest thing was I was scared that I was not going the right direction with my health. I was struggling to do things that I wanted to be able to do, and it was upsetting, and yeah, I couldn't be as active as I wanted to be. So that was probably the biggest thing for me. Yeah. Same with you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're the one who did all the research and looked all of it up, and when we found out that there was just a digital version, that was huge because we both didn't want to go in and weigh. Yeah. So that was probably one of the biggest things. Yeah.
Okay, have you ever went over your points like in the negative? Yes, definitely. So there are some times where we just like our birthdays, we just don't even track. There are some days, some holidays even, some events, like we're just not even gonna track, and we know that like we're in the negatives. Like we just take a day to whatever. And so honestly, that used to get to me a lot more, but now that it's more just become seriously like this feels like just a lifestyle so much more. Even if I were to technically eat 3,500 calories and gain a pound, it's gonna come off when I get back on track. And
that was the biggest thing, was getting back on track after. Knowing we were having this time to celebrate whatever we were doing and then get right back on track.
And we knew we were gonna do it. We knew we were gonna get back on track, so that made it easier to just kind of enjoy the going over into the negatives and stuff like that. So we definitely still have that happen. I think a couple weeks ago for my birthday, I was like way in the negatives.
All your favorite foods.
Yeah, all in one day. Have you guys had blood work done since losing weight? Is your blood pressure much better? So have you?
Last September, I had a physical too.
Yeah, I thought yours was better.
Yeah, my cholesterol was down and my blood pressure was down.
I know my blood pressure was high when I last went to the doctor to get an ingrown toenail removed. So that was in 2019. So no, I have not gotten mine checked since, but I really do want to do that because I have my old results, so I'd have to, I could compare it. But yeah, I'd be interested to see that. I definitely want to do that. What did you do at the beginning of your journey that you no longer do? You got it.
I don't know.
Weigh-ins?
Yeah, that's good for me.
Pretty much weigh-ins. Tuesday, and we loved weigh-in days actually. Like something about weigh-in days got us so motivated. Like we would both get up in the morning and run to the scale. And there would be sometimes we were like run to the scale and it wasn't what we wanted to see, and be like, okay, I'm gonna go back to sleep for an hour really quick. And then you'd wake up and you'd lose like 0.2 or whatever that you wanted to have. It would happen sometimes. Sometimes it'd be the same. But No, I definitely think weigh-ins and just making that such a priority. I don't know. I don't want to say like don't weigh in, because weighing in was like a huge tool and it helped us so much on our journey, but I'm at the point where I want to focus more on how I'm feeling and like my toning my muscles and stuff like that, that the scale really is just a number, and it's still a guideline to make sure I'm not like, or that I'm staying on track, I guess, but tracking my food helps me enough with that, so. Okay, fitness tracker recommendations. Neither of us use like a Apple Watch or anything like that.
Or a Fitbit.
Yeah, or Fitbit. That's what it's called. I couldn't remember what it was called. But yeah, I just take my phone with me when I go on rollerblades and I track it using Map My Fitness. But other than that, we don't record our workouts or anything or track anything. If I go on like a hike or something, I have my phone that tracks my steps and that's what I use. But it's something I've thought about. So if anyone else has any recommendations, let me know your opinion on that, because is it worth it? I don't know.
That was so dramatic.
Yeah, I don't know why I said it like
Is it worth it?
Have you ever planned a maintenance period? How do you shift to maintenance? So I haven't really planned anything different. I almost feel like we're at maintenance right now, even though I technically want to hit my goal weight, which is 10 pounds less. But I feel just like really comfortable where we are right now. So yeah, maintenance, I think it's just important that you still focus on consistency. I think there are some days where I feel a little bit off track if I stop tracking or I stop drinking enough water or stuff like that. Or even like I get off track with my workouts, which honestly, I really try to make that like my biggest priority, just because it helps me so much mentally and everything. Yeah, it almost feels like we have a little bit more freedom with the food than we did in the beginning. So I guess that's like the biggest difference from shifting to maintenance, but technically I'm not in maintenance yet, but I am. I don't know. Okay. Do you typically stay under your weeklies or use them all? We already kind of said that, but we both use all our weeklies usually.
Yeah.
I like to use mine personally for like protein bars or nuts, because I love cashews and trail mix and stuff like that. So I like to use my weeklies for that. He likes to use his more for drinking.
Yeah. Pretty much drinking and like higher point stuff.
Yeah.
My bars.
Or just like extra snacks throughout the day and stuff
I like
that.
Snacks, so.
But usually we try to keep our meals kind of in the points, I feel like.
Yeah, we try to keep our meals between like 5 and 15.
I feel like that helps.
Yeah.
Do you ever skip a day tracking, even if rarely? Yes.
Yeah.
I try to at least get something tracked every single day, but even that doesn't really matter if I'm not looking at the whole day's points. So I guess that's why I've made this month my like goal is to track every single meal every single day, because it just really helps me stay on track. Even like measuring out food and stuff like that. When I'm actually tracking it, I'm more likely to measure it properly and do all that stuff. So yes, there are days that we skip tracking, but we usually try to get right back on track the next day. And like I said, we're making that more of a focus now.
Yeah. Some days when I work, there are a lot of times I bring the exact same stuff 2 days in a row, so I might just bring the exact same stuff and not track it. And I guess I'm kind of lazy sometimes. So.
Yeah.
So that's what happens to me sometimes, is I might just skip that because I know what points I'm bringing in.
You're usually pretty good about that though, actually.
Yeah. Sometimes I get lazy because it's like 4:30 in the morning and I don't want to scan it.
Do you ever feel guilty when you splurge? And if so, how do you get past it? This is actually something that I still kind of struggle with, because I still do feel guilt like when I eat a lot. A lot of times after I finish dinner, I want something sweet. And there are some times where I just like start eating sweet and I feel like I kind of splurge and then I feel guilty after, but I don't know, for some reason now I'm able to justify it more and just know like, it's fine. I know I ate well all day. I stayed on track. I know that tomorrow I'm going to have my greens in the morning and then start with a healthy breakfast, and just, I don't know, knowing that this isn't like a permanent thing, knowing that the one time I ate or splurge, technically, it's not permanent, even though I might feel that way and I feel mad at myself in the moment, like it's going to be fine. And it's never enough that it like, the same way if I had a meal that was like, the opposite of a splurge, like it's not gonna help me lose a bunch of weight, my splurge meal isn't gonna make me gain a bunch of weight, and I kind of just had to get that in my head. But like I said, it is something I still struggle with.
Yeah, and we don't splurge a lot. I mean, we will every now and then, like sometimes we'll go get sushi, but I think the biggest thing for us is we've found a way to balance it from how we used to eat before, because we used to just indulge in sushi or whatever we go, and we found ways to not splurge as much. But if we do splurge, we, like we said before, for like birthdays and stuff, we know we're going to, so it almost
feels better. It's almost like more
like,
so sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay, have you thought about switching to EyeTrackBytes, and what's our opinion on EyeTrackBytes? I tried it for a couple days, but I have WW and I just prefer it. I'm more comfortable with the app. I think it's easier to track, and I do like that EyeTrackBytes shows your calories. That's one thing I was trying to stay consistent with EyeTrackBytes because of it, but something with me and calorie tracking, it just doesn't work. So
yeah, I
I think it's a great option especially if you don't want to pay for WW or can't pay for WW. I think it's a really good option. Honestly, I don't know enough about it.
Yeah, we only used it for like a week, I think.
But I do think it's a good option. It's a very similar structure where it's like a point system, which is what has helped us.
Yes.
Have you had any loose skin, and how have you handled it? So, yes to both of them.
Yeah, I still, mine's still, I think yours has been tamed at least.
No, I mean, I'm most self-conscious about like my arms and my like back right here, but I also do have some on my stomach. Honestly, it was something we expected from the beginning. That's why we started drinking collagen from the beginning, because we knew that it could help with loose skin. It's frustrating, but I'd rather have the loose skin than what I was before. So that's kind of how I'm able to feel a little bit better about it, I guess.
Mine's mostly my stomach, and that's just because of how big my stomach was before. I've actually been having collagen a lot more in the past couple months than I had when she actually started using it.
Yeah. It's almost like just seeing our progress. I don't know. It does get frustrating, but it's like it was inevitable, and we kind of knew it was coming. I talked about before how I dry brush, and I think that's helped a lot just to exfoliate my skin. I don't know. I think weightlifting's been huge, like I said. So, yeah. What are your favorite meals out on plan? Okay, go ahead, you first.
Ooh.
Or do you not know? Because I could do mine.
Do yours.
Okay, so my favorite meal out for sure is the Noodles and Company barbecue pulled pork mac and cheese with a side of pot stickers. It's a huge meal. It's so good though. Oh my gosh. That is like, yeah, that's my favorite meal out.
They mean like that we track on the plan?
Oh,
that's what
on
I was saying.
plan.
On plan, like that.
Oh,
I
got
like
to
Taco Bell or Chick-fil-A. That's what.
Oh, I got all excited to share my favorite meals.
Well, we can do both if you want.
Okay, what's your favorite just meal out then?
So my favorite meal out, honestly, is probably Kobe sushi.
Yeah.
And
your favorite roll is the same as mine, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the fried one with the salmon.
It's so good.
But, okay, then if I guess I took that wrong. So if you're saying on plan, then my favorite meal out is definitely Taco Bell. Although we had Chipotle the other day and it was actually really good.
It was really good.
And it was a pretty low point. But I like to get Taco Bell. Oh yeah, I would have to say Taco Bell. And I like to just get the regular like tacos and switch out the beef for chicken. I have the Chipotle chicken roll up, which is like 7 points, but it's so tiny, but it's so good. And I just love it. It's worth it. And sometimes the Power Bowl is really good there. So
yeah,
there's some good low point options that when we just want Taco Bell and we're feeling lazy, that's what we go for.
Yeah, I'd say if I were to go to Taco Bell, definitely the Power Bowl. But I don't know. I think for me, Chick-fil-A, because there are like Chick-fil-A's got like a 6-point sandwich that we like to get, and then they have the grilled nuggets, and then the fruit cup's actually really good.
Right, I told you.
I can douse it in their buffalo sauce because each of the buffalo sauces is only 1 point. No, not the fruit cup.
You said that.
Not everything.
You said it.
But yeah, I'd probably say Chick-fil-A because there's a lot of options and I can douse it in buffalo sauce.
Okay, how do you stay motivated during the winter months, and do you or Adam get seasonal depression?
Well, I mean, the winter months has always been the worst for us throughout every year, like with weight gain and stuff. That was one thing, especially this past year, that when we were getting close to the winter, I wanted to try to at least not gain weight back. I wanted to either stay the same, which I pretty much did, or lose a few pounds, just because in the winter when we can't be as active and there's not as much to do outside and you're kind of inside and it's cold and you want to just snuggle up and eat everything. That was one of probably the biggest times I wanted to make sure that I stayed consistent with everything. So I think that's when I really honed in on staying consistent the most, besides when I first started.
Yeah, that was one thing I was nervous about because I knew I wasn't going to be able to rollerblade this past year starting the winter, and that's actually when I started at the gym. So that's how I stayed motivated, was I found that I enjoyed the gym so much more than I expected, and that's just been huge for me. So now I have that as an option. But yeah, I guess it's just a hard thing for me is, you feel like you're just stuck inside, and like you said, you just kind of want to bundle up. So trying to find ways to stay active, trying to get out, even on days that maybe it wasn't the best out, but it wasn't like freezing, and just even going on a walk or a hike, finding new fun meals to make. We did a lot of good like chili recipes and stuff. So just, I think we use like grocery shopping to keep us motivated and have fun finding new items at the store and stuff like that.
I think not resorting to eating out as much as we would previously.
Yeah, because that would always bring us down too, is we would get upset that we would eat out every meal and stuff like that. And so, yeah, I think for me personally, with dealing with like seasonal depression and just dealing with, it's a hard time, but that was also when I started journaling, and I noticed a huge difference with just my mindset and everything. And of course that's not going to solve everything, but it definitely helped. And just to have like a gratitude list and stuff like that, it was amazing what it did for me. So that really helped me stay motivated, because I also journaled about my goals and stuff like that. And so that was something for me personally that really helps. Okay, so we're gonna take a break with that for this video. We're gonna be doing a part 2 because we have a good amount of questions left. So yeah, I hope you guys found this helpful. I hope it helps to kind of get both of our perspectives. I know a lot of people reach out to me saying like, my husband is on WW, he feels like nervous about it. Like, there's not a lot of men that are talking about doing WW or this type of lifestyle change, and there are so many men who are doing it that it's just like not talked about, I guess. So I hope it helps to hear his side and his answers to them as well. Yeah, it's like I said, a lot of this has just been a lifestyle change, and we're just going with it. So
yep.
I hope this was helpful, and if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you next time.
Look for part 2.
Yeah.